It stings. Not the physical wound. That dull ache faded years ago. But the memory of the claws cutting through the darkness. I've faced the strongest monsters on these seas. I've clashed with the world's greatest swordsman, and our duels shook the very heavens. But this three-lined mark across my eye wasn't a badge of honor from a legendary battle. It was a cold, calculated strike from a shadow that no one else sees yet. I wasn't being careless. I wasn't caught off guard. That's the terror of it. He was waiting. He was hiding. And while the rest of the world looks at Whitebeard or the rising rookies, I can still feel the phantom weight of those claws. This isn't a scar of defeat. It's a mark of an approaching storm that might swallow everything we know. We need to talk about the moment the world of One Piece shifted, and most of us didn't even realize it until years later. Let's look at the evidence in Volume 45, Chapter 434. Do you remember the tension in the air when Shanks stepped onto Whitebeard's ship? The sky literally split apart, but the real bombshell wasn't the Conqueror's hockey. It was a single confession about a scar. Shanks specifically tells Whitebeard that his left eye was wounded not by an accident, and certainly not by Mihawk. Look closely at Shanks's expression in that panel. His face isn't filled with anger. It's filled with a rare, chilling gravity. Oda draws the lines around his eyes with such sharp detail that you can feel the weight of his concern. Think back to Chapter 1. We all assumed that Scar was just a cool character design or a remnant of a pirate's life. But the truth Oda revealed is far more sinister. Marshal D. Teach gave that to a red-haired Shanks who was wide awake and on guard. Did you catch the specific detail in the background of Shanks's flashback? Teach didn't have a devil fruit back then. He was a nobody in the shadow of Whitebeard. Yet he managed to permanently mark a man who would become a Yonko. The shattered common sense here is that Teach was never a bumbling fool. He was a hunter masquerading as a clown. The texture of the scene is heavy with the smell of sea salt and the looming threat of the Blackbeard era. Why would Oda emphasize that Shanks wasn't being careless? It's because he's establishing Teach as the ultimate. The will of Oda is clear. This scar was the first breadcrumb leading us to the final war. By planting this detail as early as the post-Enies lobby arc, Oda was telling us that the ultimate threat isn't just power, but the patience to wait for the right moment. This mark on Shanks's face serves as a permanent warning to the readers that the man we should fear most is the one who could hurt a Yonko while hidden in the shadows. What's your theory on this? Do you think Shanks is destined to settle this score? Or is the scar a permanent reminder that Teach is always one step ahead? Tell me in the comments. Subscribe so you don't miss our next dive into the truth.